What about the psychological benefits? We mentioned the symbolic significance. We mentioned the spiritual and the physical benefits. But what about the psychological benefits? One of the things that it brings with it, the sajda on the turbah, is mindfulness and calm. In a study called Nature-Based Mindfulness, a qualitative study of the experience of support for self-regulation, and the study Building Mindfulness Bottom-Up Meditation in Natural Settings supports open monitoring and attention restoration. According to these two articles or studies, we come to understand that the sensation of cool earth or a natural texture during prayer may enhance the presence and mindfulness, especially in spiritual acts. So what do I mean with that? During sujood, placing the forehead on natural surfaces, such as clay, earth, or sand, can stimulate the senses, drawing attention inward. So you draw your attention inward and you foster a moment of heightened mindfulness. This sensory allows the faithful to focus on the physical sensation of prostration, like the temperature, the texture, the contact, the physical contact of your forehead on the turbah, thereby deepening their present moment awareness and spiritual concentration. So it enhances your spiritual concentration. Why is it important to engage the senses? One might turn around and ask, but why is it so important to engage the senses? Number one, it reduces intrusive thoughts. When you pray, for some of us, like myself, you have intrusive thoughts penetrating your mind. So now you're not concentrating on the prayer and what you're saying, especially when you're standing up. Or what about the sajda? When you're doing sujood, when you're prostrating, you see that the intrusive thoughts become much less. Number two, it enhances me to deepen my engagement in the prayer. And number three, it also enhances emotional regulation. In another study by the name of Nature's Therapeutic Power, a study on the psychophysiological effects of touching ornamental grass, which means living grass, and also in another study called The Effects of Tactile Stimulation using an assortment of natural elements on the psychophysiological responses of adults, we read that repeated contact with natural surfaces like grass, like the soil, like the earth, can have calming effects on us. Very similar to the psychological comfort one may feel when they're walking in a forest, when they're walking in a park, when they're listening to the nature, to the birds singing. So it has a calming effect. There's also mind sensory stimulation according to the study called Barefoot Walking, Nature Connectedness and Psychological Restoration, the importance of stimulating the sense of touch for feeling closer to the natural world. In this study, we read that for some, light tactile engagement with the earth like mud or sand can be grounding and calming to the nervous system within us. So, to sum it up, from the spiritual perspective, prostrating to a divine power enhances humility, sincerity, devotion, and connection with divine origin. From the symbolic perspective, prostration on soil reminds us where we come from. We come from the soil or the earth, and we will return to it. It reminds us about the creation, our creation. We are made of minerals. Our physical us, the physical me, is made from minerals. From the psychological perspective, sujood on earth can promote calmness, mindfulness, and simplicity. And Dr. Kayali, in a TV program on Dubai TV, he mentions the importance of the forehead touching the earth when someone calls the TV program and asks, why is it that when I have headache, when I have migraine, when I have a pain in my head and I do sajda, I feel much more calm. And he explains that there is a science behind it. There is a scientific significance behind it that we need to understand. And he mentions that all the companions did sajda on turbah, on the sand, when they entered Masjid al-Nabawi. Without fail, all the companions, without any exception, all the companions did sajda on sand, on pebbles, on stones in Masjid al-Nabawi. He mentions that, Dr. Kayali. Hence, we reach the conclusion that there are medical benefits to the touching of the forehead on the earth. There are psychological benefits. There are spiritual benefits and symbolic significance. And we read also that the likes of Jabir ibn Abdullah, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Abdullah ibn Umar, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, all of them prostrated on the earth.